This is my 1990 Honda Civic daily / race car. And today we're gonna be switching out these beat up old OEM seats for these beat up Junkyard seats. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're gonna be installing these race style Junkyard. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're gonna be installing these racing style Junkyard seats into the 1990 daily / race car. Now let me show you real quick why I say racing style Junkyard seats. This seat, although it looks like a racing seat, I mean, I guess you could technically call it that, but what separates it from an actual racing seat is that this one folds and and we gotta stick that back on there. But yeah, this one folds, whereas an actual racing seat is just all one solid piece. But since I found these at the junkyard while I was looking for something else, I figured why not? For both of these, it only cost me $60, 30 bucks a piece. So I figured we need something better than what we already have, so why not give these a try? Now I know they are really stained, but I got some chemicals that are hopefully gonna help us with that, as well as like an extractor and stuff like that. So I'm hoping they clean up pretty good, and plus we got the sun beaming right now. But before we get to that, let me show you real quick the original seat. This seat has seen better days. It's beat up, tore up, and all of the above. It's super dirty, but we're gonna need the rails off of there, and just overall doesn't really give us the like stability we need, because this one's flatter and just more of a comfort seat because it's OEM and just made for the daily driver, and pretty much that's it. Whereas this one should hold the body a lot better when we're going through corners and trying to overtake a Lamborghini on the track. Now it does pain me to take this passenger side seat out because of how clean it is. I mean, compared to this one, I mean, even not comparing it, it is so clean. It's mint, man. I almost think like the previous owner used to drive by himself, because this one's just in immaculate condition, front and back. Look at the back leather, no cracks, tears, or anything like that. But I figured since I've had the opportunity to get both of the racing seats from the junkyard, I might as well just clean them both up, and hopefully they turn out good, and just throw them both in there, you know what I'm saying? That way we have them both matching, and just overall, hopefully a better look. Before we keep going, make sure you smack that subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, then smack that like button, because it'll help out the channel massively, because building a race car isn't cheap, and yeah, pretty soon I might not be able to feed my child. Ladies and gentlemen, we've ran into our first problem. This one is 13 and a half inches, and this one, I need to pull it out a little bit more. This one is 17 and a half, so a full 4 inches longer. That's what he said. But yeah, so we're gonna have to figure out a different way to mount these things. So give me a second, let me just look at these things and try to come up with something in my head real quick. All right, I think I figured something out, and I think it'll just be easier to show you if I just take this bracket out and show you without the bracket on the seat. Oh shit. So the idea is going to be to pretty much copy this bracket that they already had on the seat, but with the OEM rails, because it's honestly simple and just straightforward, you know what I'm saying? They got the cross piece here just to be able to mount the rails, and the rails to the seat. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do. I have this piece here of flat bar. It's a 3/16, so it's probably honestly thicker than even the OE stuff. I'll just bolt this to the seat like that, and then I'll just measure however far we need, and then drill some holes and mount the OE bracket or rail onto there. This rail with the buckle on it will be a lot easier because we can just bolt directly through these holes. Whereas with this one, I'm gonna have to bust out the air hammer probably and take these rivet pieces out because yeah, we're gonna need to bolt through there, and then just same thing, air hammer this piece out because we gotta use this hole back here. But before we could start tearing these rails down, we need to power wash them because these things are just filthy, man. Probably still dirt from 1990 on there. But while we're waiting for them to dry, we could start marking out these holes on the flat bar, making sure that we measure twice and only cut once because we're trying to get these things as close as possible. That way they have minimal play and therefore maximum safety. But once we like where they're at, pull out the speed square, start marking these things down, and start going to town with the drill and some drill bits. I don't want to let go. Look at this crazy spiral I got going, baby. That's pretty much what you want to see when you're drilling, is big strands like that. And you want to go slow with pressure, that way you don't burn up your drill bit, because if you try to go too fast, you're just gonna burn it out and you're gonna go through drill bits like no tomorrow. All right guys, it's time for the moment of truth. Time to see if this thing bolts up, man. See how good of a fabrication job I did. Oh no, it's just a little short, man. Look how close we are. Damn. So what I think I'm gonna do is open up this hole sideways a little bit, as well as this one, and then see if I can't get a little more length out of it, and that should be good. All right. All right guys, wrong hole. That's what he said. All right, one. Ooh, it's looking better. It's looking better. I didn't really even have to open them too much either. So, oh, come on, baby. Don't do me like that. Come on. You're right there, though. Oh, did we get it? It's a little tight. Damn. It's right there. I just have to cut a little bit more on the edge over here, but we'll be solid after that, baby. All right, guys. Well, there she is, all bolted down, minimal play. I mean, it's not really moving anywhere, so I mean, we gotta say it ain't going nowhere, baby. So now I can actually, you know what I just realized? We've been working on the passenger side, bruh, because the belt would come from this side over here like this, but this is where the buckle should be. Fuck. I'm gonna have to go measure the other side, and hopefully the holes are 17.5, the same as the driver's side. And another thing that while I was drilling that I forgot to mention, which is crucial because it's another important reason why I got these seats. So take a look at them. They're gray with like darker gray / blue trim on the outside, which actually fits the interior of the car really good, because we got black / charcoal, dark gray down here and light gray. But then take a look at the seat belts back here. They have like a gray blue tint to them, pretty much like the seat. So if we can get them to clean up and look nice, they should look really good in here. All right, let's measure up this other side real quick. So middle right there, and yes sir, 17. And all right, that's good, because that means that we won't have to make anything different. We just got to keep going and keep doing what we're doing. So I was wondering where I was gonna have to cut, because obviously this is way too wide. It wouldn't fit in the well where the seat goes. So I've been waiting to see where I'm gonna have to cut, and I think I finally found out. So this is the one with the buckle over here. You can pretty much get an idea of where we're gonna have to cut right there, where this plastic piece is. I'm thinking just maybe a 1/4 inch inside of that. That way we still have plenty of material there. And yeah, I guess we'll start big, and if we need to cut more, we'll cut more off. So exactly as I said, we're starting off leaving a little more material than we need because we can always take off material, but with the flat bar we can't add material back. So being careful, getting out the grinder, cutting where we need, and this one's a simple and straightforward cut. Let's go. Now with this first bar out the way, the second one should go a lot quicker because we know what we need to do and all the tools that we need to make it happen. So again, just taking our time with the drill bit because we got a lot of holes that we need to drill out and we want to make sure that we do not burn them out. All right guys, there's the second piece. Pretty much an exact copy of that one, same exact measurements. But the thing that sucks is that out of this whole piece that was like this, I'm only able to get one because this one measures a total of 19 inches from here to here. And then you can see that the piece that we're left with is way shorter. Okay. Ooh, I think this one might be right on. If not, we might need to go just a hair over, but oh yeah. It's not gonna go. Oh wait, did it? Oh, we got it. We got it, baby. Let's go. First try on this one. Hell yeah. I don't know why I completely just spaced this, but yeah, look at, it's what, like an inch, maybe inch and a half. There's the hole. I mean, I guess no big deal. I could just drill right there and then we could just mount it up there. Yeah, oh well, no biggie. Damn, this hole's gonna be tough. So the bolts right there, I marked 11 and 5/8 and it ends up right here just in front of it. I'm hoping I don't have to waller that shit out. I don't know, I'm hoping to get a clean cut here. Hold this one there. Ooh, we're on, baby. First try with this one. Hell yeah. Yes sir. Yes sir. Now I just got to see if I have some nuts and bolts in like my bin collection that'll fit here so we could bolt this up. But yeah, that's on. Look at that. Yes sir. All right, so here's the passenger side. I'm gonna have to, I busted out Big Chief here. It's an air hammer. I'm gonna have to take these pieces off here, this one here, and then this whole piece right here, because the rivets go through and that's the holes that I'm going to use to bolt through. And then as well as over here, that one, but then it has spot welds here, you could kind of see them. So I'm going to have to use the air hammer to chisel all this away, and hopefully from there we'll have the holes ready to just try and bolt it on. All right, so the air hammer, it's doing all right. I mean, it kind of bent it out of the way a little bit, but I don't think this thing is sharp enough to be able to cut through. So now that it's lifted a little bit, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the grinder to just cut through that. That'll be way faster. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the air hammer here, is just try to lift it a little bit and then cut through the rivets with the grinder, because if not, I'm gonna be here all day trying to air hammer it off. All right guys, moment of truth. I had to cut this other hole up here because it wasn't lining up. Like if I put it on the bottom one here, then it would end up way too high. It would end up like up here versus this one where it's like kind of flush with the bar. So we're gonna see if this worked here. All right, and now we could see if our hole lines up here. Ooh, that shit is perfect, boy. Let's go. First try on this one too. Hell yeah. So it's not super completely even. So this one's flush here. This one sits like, what is that, quarter inch, half inch off. But I mean, no big deal. We'll be able to even it out with the rails. So I guess I would consider this done now, but before it's fully done, I'm gonna go ahead and take this back off. And I think it'd be easier to just try to test fit it. Like if I take off the whole bracket and then try to test fit just the bracket into the car, rather than having it on the seat just so it's lighter. But before it's fully finished though, I got to take this back off, grind these down to clean metal, and then spray them black. That way they look nice and they don't rust. Before I do that though, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and start knocking out this other seat. With the second set of flat bars, I had to take them home and finish them out because after work I only have 2 or 3 hours to go to the garage and make things happen over there. So you can see we're up till 10:07, having to wake up at 4:30 the next day for work, but we're making things happen, man. Getting them on the seat, making sure that they fit, and drilling out the holes that we need on the original rails to be able to bolt them up onto the flat bar pieces. Now you might be wondering why the drill sounds like that, but it's because it's continuous and I have to keep hitting the trigger in order to not burn out the drill bit. But with that knocked out, we can start fitting it back onto the seat, making sure that it works. And then after that, we just start air hammering our life away. But this time I know exactly where to hit these brackets, so it makes it a little easier, combined with actually using the grinder this time a little more to cut through the rivets a little bit faster, and then just go back between the grinder and the air hammer, which is pretty much what we did. I mean, there's no real easy way around this one. This one actually took quite a bit of work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got this one all cut up as well. Took the top piece off of this one. Same as the other side, it's just the piece that like, and what's crazy is that it actually it lines up exactly. Like, it's insane. Look at that. Perfect alignment on the bolts. But as you could see, it's like tilted. It's slanted way too much. So if I were to have mounted it on here, then it would have ended up like right here, and then we would have had a, So still sticking to this plan over here, but just thought I'd mention that this actually lined up pretty fucking good. But I guess now's the moment of truth. We're gonna find out if this side fits. All right, I had to use this like step drill bit because it wasn't fitting quite right. I needed more length out of it, but I didn't want to like drill a hole next to it and make it even bigger. So I just kind of opened these ones up, and then same thing with these on this side. I did both of them, and I didn't do anything over here because this side fit, but I want to see if I can't get it to fit like this. It is just a touch more open, not too much, but hopefully that gives us what we need. All right, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. I got it all bolted up on here. It's looking really good. It looks fucking almost OEM, bruh. I mean, it should. We got the OEM rails, but now after all this, I'm gonna take it back off and bolt it together, and then start test fitting it in the car. That way I'm not test fitting it with the weight of the seat. And then once we confirm that it's good, we can bolt it back onto the seat. And then the seats, well, I guess once we confirm it's good, we can start actually doing what we're all been waiting for, man, and cleaning these seats and seeing if we can't transform them. Bruh, I was trying so hard to make sure that these are like perfect, and then look at this shit. I was trying to see if the nut from these would fit onto these bolts, but it doesn't. So I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow to go to the hardware store and get some nuts that fit these bolts, and probably a couple more bolts, because yeah, we're gonna need some more to fully mount these up. But yeah, we're making good progress. All right, have a little bit of a problem. Easy fix, but I didn't cut enough from the end of the bar, so it's not lining up fully. I just got to chop it off a little bit more. That way the holes can line up. Yes, sir. Look at this thing, man. It's done. I left it a little loose. That way, like, I can still manipulate it a little bit if I need to while I'm trying to bolt it into the car. But man, it looks pretty good. I'm hoping it fits. I guess we'll find out together, but yeah. Come on, baby. You have to fit. You have to fit. Don't tell me no, please. We put in all this work. Oh, that's the wrong one. Honestly, I'm not even gonna fully tighten it down. As long as we get all the bolts started, That's good. All right, we're good on the back. We're good on the back. Woo-hoo-hoo. There's 3. All right, see now this one's gonna be the trick over here is to get this one. Oh, let's go. Yes, yes, we got it. Let's go, bitch. Let's go. All right, now you gotta test fit the driver's side. So it's always like the first 3 ain't really too stressful, but once you get to that last one, just hoping that it lines up, you know what I'm saying? Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yes. Yes. Yes, we got it. Let's go, boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. It's always nice when you like do something like this and then it ends up working. It's the best feeling, man. Progress, baby, progress. All right, but now time to get on to the juicy part of the video. Time to go see if we could clean those seats, man. All right, we got the seats here ready to go, and just here's one more look at them, man, before we start cleaning these things up. They're super stained. I'm hoping at least like 85% of the stains come out. If we can do that, that'd be fantastic. I'm not searching for 100% because honestly I don't think it's gonna happen, but here's a quick look at them. Super stained. They broke the glass and then pieces fell in here, so I'll have to vacuum it up. I got that ready to go, and then we'll start pulling out the chemicals and everything. When I picked these up at the junkyard, the windows on the Acura were broken. I think someone's like walking around and just breaking windows. Kind of weird, but yeah, we had to bust out the vacuum to get them all out and make sure we weren't gonna cut ourselves. But then after that, we started mixing up the chemicals. I was using LA's Totally Awesome, which is still $1 even today. And then mixing it with some water and some dish soap because that's a good degreaser. And then this tip right here I got from my guy Lorenzo at work. He's like, yo, you should use the power washer. It'll probably help take a lot of the stains out. So that's what I did, and it actually did help a lot. The other key to this whole thing was the drill brush. It just saves so much time rather than having to sit there scrubbing by hand. But again, we're using the pressure washer the whole way through, which again, honestly, I don't know if I would have thought of that. But yeah, we're hitting this bottom section, making sure we use a lot of cleaner because those stains were just so bad. But yeah, pulling out the extractor after that, even though I did leave them out in the sun to dry for 24 hours just to make sure they were fully dry. I was hoping that the sun would help out to take more of the stains out, although the sun stains, I knew they were for sure gonna stay, but I was just trying to get as best finish as we could and take advantage of just anything that we had at our disposal. Damn, now that we cleaned that one, look how nasty this one looks, bro. God damn. All right, dun, 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 drum roll. Time to see the final product. Yeah, they still look bad, man. The sun fading, for sure I knew that was gonna be there, but it just looks bad. And then the stains are, I mean, it cleaned up better than it was, but it's still there. So I got the last thing up my sleeve right here, which is gonna work for sure. It's gonna change the color a little bit, but it is what it is, man. I'm gonna be using the vinyl and fabric from Duplicolor. It's gray. It might turn out a little darker than the actual gray that's on the seat now, but it's gonna be better than what we have now because yay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tape off the darker gray / blue area and then just spray the middle part. We are gonna lose the fucking, what is that called? We are gonna lose the white stitching, but I mean, it's whatever. It's gonna have to be a sacrifice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got the seat all taped up. We're on the final stretch. We're on third base, baby. But before we get into it, before we get into the final step of spraying this down, I'm gonna ask you guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, make sure you smack the hell out of that like button, because it's gonna help out the channel massively. Because I actually just got fired from my job, believe it or not. Anyway, if you want a story on that, let me know. I'll post it on my social media. But what's crazy about that is this moment from earlier in this same video. Check it out. And make sure you smack that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, then smack that like button, because it'll help out the channel massively, because building a race car isn't cheap. And yeah, pretty soon I might not be able to feed my child. So that's why I'm always careful with what I say. And it felt weird saying it at the time, but hey, it just came out like that. But I don't know. I don't really think like that too much. I always think that things happen for a reason, you know, and I had been there already almost 4 years. But anyway, if you want a story on that, yeah, like I said, I'll post that on my social media. But yeah, we're on to bigger and better things, baby. So we're on the final stretch here with the seat. We're using the Duplicolor vinyl and fabric, and I'm planning on using about 3 coats, I think should cover per seat. But with these sun faded spots, man, they're just so bad. And the gray is a much lighter color than like a black, which would cover a lot better. But yeah, I'm hoping we still get a good finish here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, after honestly more hours than I thought it was gonna take me, but I present to you the final product of these seats and the rails. They turned out so good, bro. Like, if it wasn't for all like the little damage, the holes that it has and stuff, they would look brand new, man. We got rid of all the stains that it had, all that sun fading, and they just look so much better, bro. Oh my god. And also check out the rails, man. I went back, sanded those down, painted them. I also painted this part where I cut off the little bracket that this had, so it doesn't even really look like I did anything to them. So they're looking really good. I want to probably answer some questions that you guys have, because yeah, I would have them too if I was watching the video. So the first thing is, does the paint change the feel of the fabric? And yes, it does. I've used the paint 2 or 3 other times, and I've done the application different times where I take like a brush and rub the paint into the fibers, which is kind of what it recommends on the can. But yeah, every time it feels different. Like over here it feels soft, and I mean, you could just tell that there's paint. It's not terrible, but you can tell. And another thing is will it come off? We can do the rub test real quick, and no, it doesn't. So that's the cool thing about it, is that it actually stays on there and it doesn't stain you, which is, I don't know if it's a problem with other dyes, but I've never used them. I've always stuck to this one. And the other question you guys might have is, how much paint did I use? And since it was the gray, it obviously lighter color, it's gonna take longer to cover, but I used 2 cans worth of paint on these things, which is honestly kind of a lot. If I would have used black, I might have just gotten away with 1 can, but like I said, since it was gray, yeah, it took a lot to cover especially the sun fading spots. But yeah, they're gone, and it looks so good, bro. Look at that shit. Hell yeah. Let's get these rails on the seats and the seats in the car and show the final product. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here they are, fully bolted down and secured, man. They look so good. They match the interior so well. They don't even really like stand out that much, which is good. So we got this trim on the outside matching pretty much like the bottom panel, and then the middle matching up to the top part of it. And then, like I was saying, this here matches up with the seat belts back here, which makes it look really good, man. They cleaned up so well. If it wasn't for these like tears in the seat on the driver's side, they would look fucking good, because look at the passenger side, bro. That shit looks sick. Oh my god, they turned out so good, man. Hell yeah, look at that right there. That's the money shot right there. Yes sir. Oh yeah, and on this driver's side too, I was able to put that like baby blue wire right there. So I'm actually able to still use the slider on this seat, which is fucking tight. All right, guys, well, a lot of work went into this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with everything going on. We got these aftermarket seats into the hatch, and we're one step closer to where we need to be. Peace.